Hey guys, Paul here. So I've been going back and forth with myself over whether or not I wanted to make this video or when, but I just decided it's now or never. So the long and short of it is, I do not want to complain about Yu-Gi-Oh anymore on this channel, which to some people might come as a bit of a relief, but allow me to explain, hear me out. I really like Yu-Gi-Oh! Love it, in fact. And this isn't like I'm quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm done with Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos. Not really that. I still collect lots of Yu-Gi-Oh! Merch. I still get cards, buy packs, I play lots of Master Duel, and obviously I'm still making loads of videos on the Team APS channel. That's not changing. I'll get into more of that in a second. It's more that I have a lot of criticisms and gripes about Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've had them for many, many years. If you have watched my content, you'll know that I'm a person who I have a lot of thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Things that I feel need fixing. I will swear up and down that this game could be so much better. I want more people to play it. I want more people to enjoy it. But right now, things aren't looking great for Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a lot of problems. Obviously, the power creep has been a thing that has been rampant for years and years and years and years. To the extent that Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of just has this reputation now as the extremely confusing, overwhelming power creep game, right? Like, games end in one turn, turns take 10 minutes. Some of those criticisms are, maybe slightly exaggerated or not entirely fair, but it honestly doesn't matter because that's still the reputation Yu-Gi-Oh! Has. Perception is reality, and a lot of people just realize that this game has gotten too fast for them. It's just gotten away from them, and it's a difficult game to show to other people because there are not really, onboarding products. It's really tough to actually pick up Yu-Gi-Oh! And play it. There's a lot that you have to keep up with when you play the game. There's just loads of mental stack around board states and different stipulations around cards. So many rules get broken oftentimes. Effects are cascading all the time. It's rare to get an open game state. This chains to this chains to this chain blocks that. And even if you sort of feel like you know your own deck, you still have to know all these different cards that your opponent plays. And the meta moves fast. It is a rapid moving treadmill of, power creep, new archetypes, ban lists, and it's just kind of to the point where if you're in Yu-Gi-Oh, then you're in it and you're fine, maybe, hopefully. And if you're out, then you're out. It's a very binary sort of thing. I don't think that Yu-Gi-Oh is a game that is growing in that regard, and that's something that I really want for Yu-Gi-Oh. There are other problems too. I still feel like we're losing the mid-core Yu-Gi-Oh scene. I know I've made a video that kind of became a bit infamous for that. But I think it's true. I think that, the top level competitors seem to be doing fine, having a good time. They're enjoying the rapid paced format and all of that. And people playing retro, Edison, GOAT, also seem to be having a good time, except that one time a couple weeks ago when Konami tried to change all the rules. But yeah, it's basically those are the two camps. And if you're in the middle, then there's just nowhere to go. If you want to play your new Super Quant deck that just got support, where do you play it, right? There's not really a format for that. It sort of feels like it's just one way or another. Maybe you just wait for the support to come in Master Duel. That's kind of what I've started to find myself doing more often is I wait for products to just come in Master Duel because it's not really worth buying the products. I don't see myself finishing the decks or really having anywhere that I can play them and enjoy them because I'll just go and lose to Malice or Razu or something like that. Yu-Gi-Oh's been like that for a long time. This is nothing particularly new. But it is a phenomenon that I think is slowly, burning people out, and people are finding themselves more drawn to other card games. Magic's got loads of collabs, Pokemon is Pokemon, but also games like One Piece and Digimon and the new game Gundam and the new League of Legends game. I feel like those are all much better draws right now to new people because they seem more accessible. It seems like their product structures are better, their marketing seems better. Just a lot of stuff feels like it is happening on that front, and it worries me a lot. Because I actually really like Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't want the headline of anything to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying or Yu-Gi-Oh! Is canceled or here's why you should outright quit. I just think that there are things that Konami could be doing to improve the situation. We haven't gotten starter decks in ages. I think that we need to go back to getting lots of starter decks. Something that I have pointed out is that between January 2005 and January 2007, Konami released 10 different starter decks. 10. They released them in pairs. It was really awesome. We were basically averaging a starter deck every 2.5 months. And it was great. It just made the game seem more accessible. I think that with these sets like Battles of Legend and Maze of the Master, they should just be taking those archetypes and turning them into starter decks. Get them on the shelves, get them in front of people. It is not worth it to buy an $80 box of Battles of Legend from your local card shop. And this is coming from me. I think that supporting, locals in like LGS scenes is good, but Yu-Gi-Oh product is not a great way to do it. I've talked to many different card shop owners. Some of them you might be very intimately familiar with, and all of them agree that like Yu-Gi-Oh sealed product is just not in a great place. It's not worth it for players to buy the $80 MSRP box or whatever. I think it's like $90 or $100 now for secret rares that aren't worth anything. There are lots of ways they can improve this. I've talked about them all here. Mixed rarity systems would be great. I think that they should be doing more with like alt arts and stuff. I think that the secondary sets might as well not really even exist. It would have been better to have a Jirok, Nekroz, Fabled, and Gem-Knight starter decks, like 4 precon decks. Magic does that, One Piece does that. A lot of games, that's like how they do their starter decks or structure decks. And like they release them and they're great for sealed play and they look more accessible because no one's actually buying Monster Mayhem for those decks. It just doesn't like work that way. But anyways, then that's like only one of the many complaints. There's no communication from Konami, not really. They've kind of changed that a little bit recently. There's no actively running Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and I think that has sort of begun to really take a toll on the card design of the game because there's not an anime for you to look forward to getting cards from. We're just sort of coasting on this nostalgia where every set goes back and retrains some old cards where it's like, here's a Link 6 Borreload monster in the next set, or here's a rank 12 that you can overlay over the rank 11 that you can overlay over the rank 10 of like Yuma's old support cards. It's neat, it's cool, but I think that like Yu-Gi-Oh needs like the new blood, a new anime to be happening to get people excited. And there's also another unfortunate realization with all of this. Konami's not going to really change any of it. Konami as a company is one that is very set in their ways, very bureaucratic, quite slow. And I'm saying this as somebody who has worked with them in the past on sponsored promotions. And I've visited the Konami office. I've met the people who work there. I don't doubt that they're good people that are passionate about their work and passionate about Yu-Gi-Oh, but it doesn't change the fact that the structure of the company and the business model that they have, for now at least, is working for them, and they just are not highly incentivized to change it. And so I don't think that me, exhausting myself, complaining every other day about this or that that's bad with Yu-Gi-Oh for a company that isn't really interested in changing it until it actually affects their bottom line, it's just not really worth the trouble. I feel like it puts me in a negative headspace. It makes me seem like I'm just like a whiner, complainer, or Yu-Gi boomer to some audience members. But also, I'll just leave that whole problem up to them to deal with. That doesn't mean that I won't still be playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'll try to highlight, good things that I like. Obviously, we still have, the Pot of Greed podcast. We try to cover like Yu-Gi-Oh news that's interesting and stuff to us. And I might, have a little rant or something on there, but I don't plan to make any more videos where I'm just saying negative things about Yu-Gi-Oh or pointing out problems, because it hasn't really done me any good. I know sometimes people like to click on those vids, but that's overrated. I want my mental health to be a little bit better than that. So you might be wondering then, what will I do on this channel if I'm not complaining about Yu-Gi-Oh all the time? Well, as it happens, I've got a lot of other interests. I am a really big fan of anime. I watch so much different seasonal anime. I've been watching it for years. I wasn't always a big anime fan, but now I am, and there's so much stuff that I just like to talk about and discuss, like any anime that I've been watching. That's anime shows, that's movies, everything, right? And this is actually something that you probably have heard on our weekly podcast, The Pot of Greed. Alec and I talk about anime all the time. We also talk about games a lot. I am not a huge gamer, I used to be, but I have been trying to kind of become a gamer again and get back into playing stuff. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, I like Sonic the Hedgehog games. A little known fun fact is that I actually recently purchased a Steam Deck OLED. I found a really good deal on a refurbished one, and so I got it kind of on a whim. I don't play it very much, but I would like to. I want to play more games again and talk about them maybe, share them, maybe some multiplayer stuff. If anybody has recommendations for games that are particularly good on the Steam Deck, particularly especially JRPGs and kind of just slice of lifey games or whatever, I tend to like that sort of stuff. Let me know, I would like to put this thing to use. I also have become a big Marvel fan recently, which was a bit of a surprise. I did not read any comic books as a kid, but I have started watching a lot of the Marvel Disney Plus shows and the movies. I kind of got into them in and after COVID really, but Chris and Larry and Alex and Alec, they're all really big Marvel fans. We talk about Marvel all the time. So I'd like to maybe share some of my movie reviews or thoughts on that universe and all these different things. I've got more interest in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think that because this is meant to be sort of a secondary channel, it'd be a good way to explore some of that. and share it and just talk about it, whatever. So yeah, that's what I hope to maybe put more into on this channel. I will still, of course, be doing loads of Yu-Gi-Oh videos on the main Team APS channel. We will still be doing all of our theme duels. We still want to try to keep making skits and challenges and things like that. We've got Retro Pack 2 coming out soon, so there is going to be a Retro Rivals 2. That should be a lot of fun. But yeah, basically that's the gist. I don't want to be a negative Nancy about Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. I kind of think that it's just up to Konami to decide if they want to change this game or not. Or, you know, if I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm an idiot and I know nothing about managing a game, that's fine too. But I just don't want to put the negativity out into the world. I want to put some more positivity out in the world and, you know, enjoy some other things that I do as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can let me know down below in the comments how you feel about Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you feel optimistic about it, negative about it? And hopefully you guys will continue to watch and support some of the other stuff that we can make here on this channel about games and anime and other things. All right, cool. That's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, and by the way, subscribe because we're almost at 100K on this channel. It would be really, really, really awesome to me to finally get a silver play button for APS Amplifier. Okay, that's gonna actually be it. I'll see you in the next one. Pass turn.